in essence, what we were talking about is that Equal Pay Day is today, but Equal Pay Day is every day when we look at the disparities based on gender, on how people are paid. And what we have talked about so far is that every one of us has a mother, a grandmother, a sister, ourselves, a daughter, a niece, who is or has experienced this. Those women who have worked hard, who have worked with passion, and not been paid their value, and often are paid differently than their male counterparts. What we talked about is that this is an issue that should not require that specific or individual woman to fight by herself. It is something that should require national attention with collective action. And it is also founded in the understanding that when you raise the economic status of women, you raise the economic status of families, of communities, and all of society benefits. And so that is the spirit with which we approach this, which is not only about fairness and equity for that individual working person, it is to the benefit of the entire society. I don't need to tell this group, but I'll say it for the sake of the friends who are joining us. On average, women make 82 cents of what men make, 82 cents on the dollar. Black women, 63 cents. Native women, 60 cents. Hispanic women, 55. And Asian American, 87%, or 80 cents on the dollar. So when we look at the issue, we also see the interconnection between race and gender, which is something that is not only about equal pay, but many other issues that we need to address and we do collectively address. When we look at the reasons, we know that there are a couple of reasons. One, when we look at, of course, pay discrimination, we have to demand transparency. So that's one of the things that many of us have worked on together, which is, again, let's not make that woman prove and have to go through all of the steps that often might require litigation to prove the inequity and the unfairness of her situation and circumstance in terms of not being paid equal for equal work. We should require the system itself to be transparent and display and share for everyone how they are paying their workforce and whether there is parity and equity in the way that that is being done. And so for that reason, we have to hold employers accountable. We have to hold corporations accountable to put the onus not on that singular woman who is probably also challenged with trying to get daycare going. Maybe she's in what we call the sandwich generation, and she's taking care of children and parents, trying to juggle everything else, and then also having to prove with the thing that should be proven in terms of the burden being placed not on her, but on the employer themselves. We know that women, and to this point, take a greater share of caregiving in households, and so they are more likely to work part-time. They are more likely to perhaps not take full advantage of what might be promotions or extra work, and because that would require her to work around the clock or at hours that she cannot work because of her responsibilities in terms of her family. We should be looking at that too on the issue of pay equity, which is what are we doing in the workplace to allow women to pursue their career, to seek advancement without having to take on so many sacrifices because of the other traditional duties of a woman, especially in the context of a family.